Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome Ashley Williams to the podcast. Welcome, Ashley. I can speak.
Hi, Sarah and Julie. Of course you can speak. Look at you go. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we met years ago, actually. I don't know if you remember this, but we were in the bathroom at Rama Drama. I don't even know if we introduced ourselves to you, but we just chatted a little bit, and we were like, we've got to get Ashley on the podcast.
Well, because you guys, I think it was like you were just starting out, right? At the time, weren't you? Like, we're launching this thing.
We were about fairly new.
Yeah. But we hosted an event there, and we were on the podcast event.
Like, event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm so happy that it finally was, happened. I am definitely somebody who wears a lot of hats, and that means that, like, when somebody reaches out with like a, hey, come on the podcast, I'm always like, but I'm in Bulgaria shooting something, or I just got home from Spain and I have 2 kids, and so I really wanted to take this summer to kind of like chill out a little bit and just slow down and have some conversations with people that I've been meaning to for a while. So thanks for your patience, and I'm so happy to be here.
It's so fun. And I think we probably didn't reach out for a while either, so it's not on you.
Nobody's mad.
Nope. Just happy to have a conversation.
But anyway, welcome. We're so excited to spend a little bit of your morning with you.
Me too. Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you recently just had 2 movies out. To Barcelona with Love and Barcelona Forever with, of course, the wonderful Ali Sweeney. So that was fun this summer to get to watch. I'm assuming you've talked a lot about this, but tell us a little bit about it and how it came to be.
Oh, I'm so happy to talk about these projects. Yes, I have told this story before about how it came about, but it is a totally true story, and it is kind of good. But I was on my way to New York for the Rockettes movie premiere. Were you guys there that night? It was
we
New York
were
City.
not, but
okay. Well, it was such a big, sort of exciting night, and they'd brought in all these Hallmark friends. And I had just been writing something and gotten fired from writing it, and I felt so bad about myself, and I was in the airport, and I went into a Hudson News, and I was like, I'll never be a writer, and I was looking at all these like amazing little like romance novels that would make such good Hallmark movies, and I was like, I'll never be able to write anything as good as this. And then I saw there was this other like international section where some books had been translated into different languages, and I was like, you know what, the only way I'd have a good solid bestseller is if an actually good writer rewrote my book in another language, and then it became a hit. And I was like, that's actually kind of a fun idea for a movie, So that same night, it was like 1:00 in the morning, I was in a bar that, in like an after party, and I was talking to Julie Sherman-Wolfe, and I was like, I had this, maybe like dumb idea, I don't know, and so I pitched her the idea, and she was like, well, we would need to get another Hallmark star that spoke a different language. And right then, Alison Sweeney, who I've loved forever and have been trying to figure out what we could do together, she was walking by, and I was like, hey, Allie, do you speak another language? And she said, I speak Spanish. And I turned to Julie and I said, so it's set in Barcelona. And that is how these movies came about. Truly, like, that was actually the story. And then, a couple of days later, I like followed up with Julie, and we got on the phone, and she had, way better ideas than me about how to execute it. And she was like, I don't know, I think, and I was like, Allie, should we like actually try this? And so we brought it to the team at Hallmark, and they were like, this is kind of great. Let's put it in development. It took a couple of years, but we did it, and I'm so proud. Oh, and then they were like, yeah, we love the idea, but could you do 2 movies? And I was like, we can do 7. I was like, don't threaten me with a good time. So we just we started brainstorming about how we could potentially turn it into more movies, and so then we came up with To Barcelona Forever, which was the second one. Alison Sweeney is like such a boss lady. It's funny because I've been producing movies for Hallmark for years, but I've never worked alongside another female who's producing for Hallmark. Like Nikki produces, but I've never worked with her on a project, right? We're very good friends, but like I've never seen her like in action. Seeing Alison Sweeney in these meetings, like it was such a great example of like a woman who really knows what she wants, is very direct, and very, very smart. So she would always be like, okay, like, what's the next step? Like, when are we meeting again? She'd like hold the executive's feet to the fire. I'm a little bit more like, okay, great, this sounds so fun, we're gonna have the best time. And Allison would say all of that, and then she'd be like, great, let's get our next meeting on the books, and what's the next step, and let's get her paid so that she can start writing, so that we can, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, it was so fun to see.
Yeah.
Like, I learned so much, about, like, staying empowered and staying, and, like, by the way, not even to put a gender on it, just, like, stay the course, And I think without Alison Sweeney, these movies would have taken another 5 years to get made, because I just love people and I love stories, and I'm a talker, and having Allie there, it was like we all had like a very strong leader, which was great.
I love that. So I live in a world where you need to be proactive, and so I love that proactive piece. We need to get Allie on the podcast.
You do need to get Allie on the podcast. She's a great guest. She really knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I love that proactive piece, and like that, let's get this movie, and how do you, because you said it took 2 years even with those proactive pieces in place.
I mean, listen, like, the people at Hallmark work so hard, and they literally make 100 movies a year. Yeah. So it's just like this constantly moving, amorphous, like, oh my gosh, is it ready to greenlight it? Do we have a production services company? Can they start on Tuesday? Great, you guys are off to the races. We'll see you in 3 weeks. Who else do we have? Like, it's very like, oh, you know what? The script isn't ready yet. Let's check back in 3 months, So it's a development at Hallmark is a fascinating beast, because the quality standards are so high. They won't greenlight anything until everybody's in love with the script. So it's like you might get some people who, are signing off on it and others don't. So it's like you're constantly going like, are we ready? No? Okay. And then all of a sudden you're greenlit for production, and suddenly you're like, well, who's our director? And suddenly money is flowing, but so it's all, it all moves so fast, but it moves very slow before it moves fast.
Right. Right. And because it takes so long, plans for who you want doing certain things must have to change and adapt, right, as people's schedules get filled. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Alison Sweeney, produces and often writes her Hannah Swenson shows. Yeah. So, it was definitely like we needed a little window when she was available, in between shooting those, which I think may have helped us, because they were like, Alison's free in the beginning of 2025. And we were like, let's go. We might not get her again, which might have helped, put pressure on. Because they're like, we know Ashley Williams is available, because I'm always like, can I play? But Allison, we had to nail her down,
No, that's super fun. So not only did you guys get to produce together, I'm going to throw it back for a minute. So you were sitting in a bar talking to Julie Sherman-Wolf, who we've had on a couple of times. Yeah. We're just going to say this queen writer, right? She's not a random person to talk to. You picked the right person.
Oh, no. It was a very targeted. I saw her and went in like a missile. I was like, hi, great job tonight. Big fan of your writing. How can we work together? I had this crazy idea. It was not, I think we sort of did a little bit of small talk, but I was also like, do you want to let's get this done? What are we doing here?
It's 1
And by
a.m.
the way,
and I'm in a bar. I'm going to throw it down.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I lucked out that Julie is a very nice person, you know, because she was definitely very like open and kind and wonderful. That was my son getting his iPad. Summer.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Again, we love Julie. She's been on multiple times, and yeah, she's
We're fans.
fantastic.
We're fans.
I would love to sit at a bar with Julie Sherman Wolf,
Yeah.
actually.
And you. And
Yeah.
Allie, let's just
Oh yeah.
let's meet at the bar.
Next time we have a
Let's-
podcast, we'll do it a round table at a bar.
At the bar.
Although suspenders unbuttoned at a bar sounds
Yes.
like a little bit different of a theme.
We're always a little unbuttoned, and we never claim to be just in one spot, which has served us so well. And I'm just going to say, if we see Tyler Hines, it's most likely in a bar. So,
Yeah, smart. And those suspenders just come right off.
we're always just a little unbuttoned, and I feel like a bar podcast might actually work.
Yeah, it would be a sound issue. We'd have to make sure that we
That's
can
true.
hear each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an empty bar.
Yeah, an empty bar. Yeah, with great acoustics. Yeah.
No piano playing over here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay, it's not actually going to happen, but it would be a fun podcast.
It's a fun idea. We'll have to do it like virtually.
A panel in the
okay.
bar.
So you also had Small Town Setup, which was kind of a big deal because this is one of Hallmark's first non-scripted shows. So what was the difference for you when you're used to all these scripted movies and you're even dabbling a tiny bit in writing and you direct, but then you go on to this unscripted, brand new to the network type of show? And what was that?
Yeah.
like?
I gotta be honest. I mean, it was my first foray into the unscripted world as well. So it was new for Hallmark, but it was also new for me. And I had no idea what to expect. I'm a chatty, positive, like I love people. I love families. I love love. I love talking about love. So in that sense, it was really right up my alley, but also like in a new genre like that, I was definitely trying to feel out what the requirements of the medium are, so I had to figure out, like, as host, I had like scripted like, hi, this is Small Town Setup, but also it was really important to me that it all felt really authentic to me. And organic. So in that sense, like I would have a script and then I would sort of do one line scripted and then I would throw it away and just start sort of talking, and for the most part, that was the stuff that stayed in the show, I hear they have amazing ice cream here. It was like a total throwaway because somebody had just said we have to get ice cream later, it was truly like what you're seeing really is me. And some of it has to be canned so that we understand what's actually going on and what the rules of the show are. And, we have 3 blind dates. We've got, one single from the city for every episode. That stuff I really had to be clear about. And the rest of it was really, truly me, like, living authentically in the moment, which in the beginning I was like, is this okay? I don't know if I'm different this way, but I have an innate fear of being annoying. I think it's because I'm the third child. So I was constantly told that I was annoying and to go away as a kid. And consequently, I still have like my sort of like, I'm easy to analyze in therapy because all you need to know about me is that like I just want to play, right? Like I want to be asked to play, I want to be invited to dance. I love being creative with people. So I was a little bit worried about just being me because I was like, what if people are annoyed and they need me to leave, and they were like, we can edit, we can, so it took me probably an episode or 2 before I really started to trust, that it could be a truly like relaxed environment. Yeah. And then I really calmed down and like got really dug in, and I called my sister, who's also an actress,
Right.
and I said, I said, I got to tell you, like, we've messed it all up. We should have just been hosts this whole time. And she was like, tell me everything. And I talked her through like the schedule and the requirements and the creative and what it's all like. And I was like, you need to get yourself a dating show. Like, this is so much fun. It's the most fun I've ever had. It's straight up relaxing. And literally 2 days later, she got a call about hosting Fox's Farmer Wants a Wife. And she called me and she was like, am I really going to do this? And I was like, you must. Like, I'm requiring you to go just take this meeting. I'm telling you, it's like hosting a dating show is the best job in the whole world. And she was like, okay. And so she called me afterwards. She was like, it went kind of well. And I was like, please do it. Please do it. So she booked it. And suddenly the two of us are hosting dating shows at the exact same time.
I love it.
It was unbelievable. It was such
Now
a
you
miracle.
need to do them when you're like co-hosts, so you're together.
Totally. Although, our two Williams sisters, like, is that too much for television?
Never.
Do we?
Never.
Yeah.
That is never too much. That would be perfect. Because I kind of love how you just said you're along for the ride. Because a lot of it is you do have to tell a story in an episode, right? So you're just kind of like highlighting the points actually, and letting them do their thing. Which makes it so enjoyable as a viewer to watch.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I mean, truly, like, one of the things that really appealed to me about the show was the family element. My parents were married for 50 years. I've been with my husband for 22 years, and the aspects of being a parent and wanting love for your kid that is lasting, is definitely part of my value system. So I was truly like coming at it authentically, like who do you envision for your daughter or your son? And the juxtaposition between what parents envisioned and what the kids wanted was fascinating and comedic, and also, like, it was really interesting to see the parents and the kids get closer, throughout the course of this episode and get to know each other better. And above all else, to have this single from the city realize that being upfront and honest about what you want in a relationship from the very beginning is an asset. It's, I think when you're on a dating app, it's very complicated. I definitely didn't exactly know what I wanted when I met my husband. I think I got really lucky. I got a great guy with, like a farm boy from Pennsylvania, whose parents are still married and who makes me laugh to this day more than anybody I've ever met. And, I think I lucked out. Like, we see the world the same way. We both wanted children. We are creative. We love museums, but trying to navigate dating somebody, at I literally can't even imagine. But I think learning what I've learned now from the show, I would definitely come, clean right in the beginning and say, I love family, I love kids, I love love, I love plays, I love theater, and be honest about who I am and what I want, and I don't know if I would have known to do that before.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, no, that is super fun and super engaging. It's interesting to see all these unscripted shows roll out on Hallmark and the variety of them. So, would you do it again? How many more unscripted shows? Would you do different unscripted shows?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Finding Mr. Christmas, that show. I think that epitomizes like the joy and the fun of what we can do in the unscripted space on Hallmark. So I am a big fan of that show. I would love to do another season of Small Town Setup. They're going to be bringing, because it was originally just made for Hallmark Plus, you know, as just an unscripted option on the on the streaming network. But they're going to move it to the linear space in January. So if it does well, if people watch it and they like it, I bet you will get to do another season. I hope. Yeah. So, and I would be fully on board with that.
Fun.
So you were also a producer on that, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the way that the job came about was I got word that Hallmark was doing unscripted shows, and, you know, my husband and I are like we're wild creatives, right? So we immediately started coming up with all these fun unscripted ideas for Hallmark. Okay. And you know, all of Hallmark are just my friends. So I started just calling up and saying, can I, you know, book an appointment to pitch you another show? And we got a Canva account, and we started coming up with all these different ideas, and they were so fun. Like one of the ideas that I had was Paul Campbell, who's a very good friend, and myself dressing up as my Aunt Diana and Uncle Bill, and going on the Hallmark cruise, like the way that, remember when Adele dressed up and came out and started singing, and everyone was like, who is this? We thought it would be fun if we like got prosthetics and dressed up just like my Aunt Diana and my Uncle Bill, who are from North Carolina. They're great people. And went on the Hallmark cruise pretending that we were just Hallmark fans and getting to know all of the fans all week, and, you know, having dinner with them and what, right? And I was like, and then on the final night, we like rip off our prosthetics and we're like, it's Ashley Williams and Paul Campbell. And then everyone would be like, what? We could have like us in the hair and makeup chair in the morning talking about like meeting, you know, having dinner with Carol and her husband last night and hearing about their son who's in the military and whatever it is, and, you know, surprising people in fun ways, and then in the end revealing that we're us. And I thought it was so genius. And I came up with this whole deck. And I pitched it to Hallmark, and they were like, you're insane.
I love it.
No, this needs to happen. Because wasn't it Kimberly Sustad who said her mom was with?
Yeah, everybody had
she
their
just
mom
kept
at
losing
that
her
one,
mom
yeah.
because she had lunch dates and dinner. I have to go meet Lulu
Totally.
and her friends for lunch. So see ya.
Totally. Yeah.
And,
So well, they said that we were crazy but also hilarious.
No.
And then they said, keep bringing us ideas. And we did. We kept bringing them. We brought them like 9 different unscripted show ideas. But during that time, they got to know me as a person, and they thought, you know, and this is David Stefano, who runs the unscripted division. Mm-hmm. He just thought I was a hoot. And he would just kept saying, like, I mean, she's got all these ideas. Like, there's something there, you know? She's not bringing us the ideas we want to make, but... and so basically, like, after the 9th, you know, rejection, he called me and he was like, we're going to find something for you. Like, you're clearly passionate about this. You really want to do this. And so then he called me and he was like, so I've got this idea for like parents trying to set their kids up. And I, halfway through the sentence, I was like, I accept, I'll do it. And he was like, okay, well, we have to make you a producer because you clearly are an idea machine. And I was like, yes. So that's how that happened. So I got to have a hand in, you know, all of the development and how the show worked and, you know, all of that stuff. I mean, we had amazing bosses as well. An amazing producer, that we worked with, Keshet. And so it was really fun and amazing, but, getting to like be creative as well, that, you know, that was really like one of my favorite parts.
Okay, this just sounds like the best adventure ever.
I really, really love this idea of going undercover on the Hallmark cruise because
now I can't do it because I've told you guys and everyone's going to suspect.
No, still. They still wouldn't know.
Maybe that's what was missing a little bit from this series, The Christmas at Sea, which is really fun and lovely, but you didn't really get the stars meeting them that didn't feel a little bit staged. Like, we know it was organic once you got to that part, but it would have been really fun to kind of see it in the wilds, I think.
Right. That's so hard to organize, you know,
I know.
because
I'm
space
a
is
fan,
so
though.
limited.
It's so organic.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you know, I lost my mom because she's got too many friends and they have things to do, right? Like, and they're on
Yeah, it's so funny.
We've been to so many of these fan events where it's like, I walked in, you know, knowing nobody, and I walked away with, you know, 30 new besties, right? And so...
I mean, I got to tell you, like, that's one of my favorite things about meeting the fans is, you know, I definitely, like, I've been an actor since I was 11, and my sister was famous when I was very young.
Yeah.
And there was this big thing from my parents about, like, you have to protect yourself and your privacy and, you know, keep your family and your privacy in one area and your work in another area. And so I definitely came into, like, my first Christmas con being a little bit like, I don't know these people are strangers, you know, and my guard was up and I was lovely and polite, but I was definitely like, guarded, you know? And over time, what I have learned, and literally not one person has taken advantage of this, I can trust my Hallmark fans. Like, it's just different. The vibe is different. These are good people. And, you know, my guard has, like, really come down over the years because, you know, these are real people with real experiences and real tragedy in their lives that matches mine. You know, I lost my mother at a time like right before the first Christmas con, and all I was hearing from people was their experiences losing their own family members, not just from Alzheimer's disease, but from any number of things. And together we were able to exist in our grief. Because there's, you know, it's the great equalizer is pain, trauma, and grief. And Hallmark movies, I think, have a tendency to bring out the very best in people and the most authentic in people, you know, and across the board, I've been shocked after every fan event, like, these people are me, you know, and... You know, I had a stalker years ago, had nothing to do with Hallmark. Like, Hallmark fans don't do that. They are respectful of the fact that I'm a mother and, you know, that, you know, I have a husband and, you know, like, like at first, like with Cameo, you know, like I do Cameo often to raise money for the Alzheimer's Association or whatever it is. And my husband was like, what kind of weird requests? And I was like, no. It's like women who are having an exciting birthday. Like, that's, and I'm saying, happy birthday. I'm so excited for you. I'm celebrating you, you know? It's not weirdos and creeps, you know? So hopefully that doesn't invite in the one, you know, me saying that doesn't invite in the one creep. Because I really do trust our fans. I really do. I love them. I love these people.
Our favorite thing at fan events is watching that unfold, actually. Yeah. That is what we love, and we watch the fans really tell some of their, like, deepest things to the stars, to the talent, and just share how their work has impacted them through these times. It's beautiful to watch unfold.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, I grew up doing soap operas, and then I went to theater school and became obsessed with Shakespeare and truly thought I would be a regional theater actor for my whole life. Like, I thought I'd move to Ashland, Oregon, and just be a resident. You know, I'd play, you know, Helena 50 times. Like, I really thought that was going to be my life, and I was super psyched. I was really passionate. Chekhov, all the, you know, the classic theater stuff. That was what I thought I was going to be spending my time doing. And the reason that I connected with it is because, as Shakespeare said, holding the mirror up to nature. The audiences can see themselves in Shakespeare and theater in general, and that's why I connected with it. I had no idea that Hallmark Christmas movies would do the exact same thing,
right.
except almost in a more accessible way. I feel, Hallmark movies end up being so universal, even though they're wish fulfillment. They're sort of a fantasy of your perfect Christmas, At the same time, there's elements to that are so real, especially, honestly, surrounding grief, right. Being scared of love and deciding against all odds to just go for it and take the plunge and choose love. It turns out to be the kind of content that we didn't know we needed, in the last couple of years, but that we really did.
Don't you think it's that people can explore the things that they're struggling with, but in a safe environment? They know that in the Hallmark space it's safe.
So that's very well articulated, yeah, because, it's somebody who is brave enough to feel their grief. Yeah. But also, look at her. She's like in front of a perfectly decorated Christmas tree, and even if her house is supposed to be messy, it's like 3 shirts that can be folded very fast. It's like the safe version of the hardest right. parts of our life. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the most stressed out Hallmark character is still kind of adorably stressed out. Like, her hair looks great, When I'm stressed out, her makeup is flawless. She looks so cute. When I'm stressed out, like yesterday, I had not brushed my teeth, was still in my pajamas, glasses on, hair in a thing, and I walk in, and my husband walks in, and I'm like cooking 3 different meals. I had one of my kids was sick, and my husband walks in, and he goes, "You look insane right now." He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just really busy and stressed." And like, that's real. That's real life, Nobody wants to watch that, right?
It's funny,
like, I have plenty of that in my life.
Me yesterday.
No way, really?
You know what? Real life. So Hallmark controls the pieces. It's only 3 shirts, but we know what it really looks like. And you can come there for a safe viewing of the things you're going through and really connect with that without getting overwhelmed.
Right. Because it's going to be tied up with a pretty bow at the end, too. Right. It gives you, like, that little bit of settled feeling. Yeah.
Here's the thing, like, we have enough trauma in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I got plenty of trauma in my life. And by the way, when I want to watch something that feels real and feels like it really represents the intensity of the everyday life of, the common woman, not even to put a gender on it, but just like the common person, I will go watch something else.
Right.
Right now I'm watching Last of Us, and it packs a punch, man. Like, I'm in season 2, and it's gutting, and it feels good and real and raw and intense, but it is not restful.
Right.
It's not a restorative viewing experience,
Right. It's more real. Like, that's one of the things we always say is we don't just watch Hallmark. Sarah used to say my favorite shows are When Calls the Heart and Game of Thrones. That was my favorite comment.
Totally. That's just the whole spectrum of the human experience.
Right. And, like, my life is The Pit. So,
Same. I was behind on The Pit. Like, I came to it late. I watched the first episode when it first came out, and I was like, oh, this is yummy, and then I lost track of it. And now I'm on episode 6, and I'm dreaming The Pit.
Yeah.
Like, this morning I was putting
You're only an hour 6.
I'm only an hour 6. I know. I was putting a Band-Aid on my son, and I was like, I wanted to, like, call out, like, perforation of the epidermal, I was like, and I literally was like, I think I would actually be a pretty good doctor. Like, I was like, yeah, I got this. Like, I think I'm actually learning a lot.
Pressure over here.
Exactly.
After this, so I will be going to The Pit. So.
Yes. Oh, good. Wait, what do you mean? You're gonna go watch it?
No.
Oh no.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
that's your real life?
That's my real life.
So
That's
wait,
my life.
are you a nurse?
I only
Are
have
you
a
an
12
ER nurse?
10-hour shift. Huh?
Are you an ER nurse?
No,
Doctor?
I'm a critical care pharmacist, and I'm mostly in the pediatric ICU. That's my primary spot, but I will be in the emergency room for 10 hours tonight. So when you get to 10 hours of the pit, then you'll...
So
You'll know
wait,
her
are
evening.
you
Yeah.
okay? And so
Protein,
you
trauma
prescribe
team.
you prescribe the medication for the kids.
So the doctors prescribe.
Not
We
prescribe.
do. Nobody ever quite knows this. I'm a critical care pharmacist. We're there. We're on rounds. We do all that kind of stuff. But we look at all the things that are ordered. We recommend things that are ordered. We make sure it's the right dose, right drug, right route. Help with lots of other things, including getting levels and making sure when things should be given, and can they be given with these two things, or are they going to precipitate in the line and cause all kinds of things. They're asking questions all the time about dosing, and we're watching for cultures coming back. It's a busy job. It's very intense, and I love it.
And she's in the room,
So,
so like
in the room
if there's
we're
a
happy.
code, she's there. She has to be there.
Code team.
Yes.
So
trauma
like,
team.
I know you're there. Is Noah Wiley there too?
So let me
Yes.
just tell you. Let me just tell you. Sometimes, like, all those things are true, and then it's like all the firemen come in and the police officers and the. I'm just telling you.
Have you ever had an ambulance get stolen?
Okay, one of the docs who's 6'3" and is married and has 3 kids. Him and I had this running thing where we were like, we need to pitch a series, and instead of ER, we were going to call it Kids ER. And then when the pick came out, he was like, "What? We missed our call." We were like, we need to pitch Kids ER because some of the most sick kids are not like sick adults. It's a very different thing, and so it's more dramatic and it's more funny, and kids don't look like
Is
adults.
it?
Right. The kid walking down the hall might be this. And playing basketball might be the sickest kid in the hospital, right? So,
Fascinating.
So it's just interesting. But we wanted to pitch Kids ER or sick kids.
You got your finger on the pulse, man. You
we
know
missed
what
it till
America
the pit
wants.
came out. Like,
You missed it. So wait, do you feel like the pit is true to
It's the
your
truest
life?
thing I've ever seen. Are there things we absolutely critique at work? For sure. But it is by far.
Is it hard to get scrubs if your scrubs get,
Okay, so
stuff on them?
So the scrub dispensing machine is very East Coast. So so we bring our own scrubs in. You wear your own scrubs unless you're in the OR. Then you wear OR scrubs. And if anything happens to you during the day, you just walk to the OR and put on Then you get those like light blue generic.
Sure.
That dispensing machine is dispensing figs. That's like the trendiest, most expensive scrubs out there. You're not getting figs. You're getting those, light blue OR scrubs.
Sure.
That are classic, and you just go get a pair on, and put them on if anything happens to you. Yeah. It's no big deal.
Wow. And do they really not have lunch breaks?
Okay, that's lunch. Breaks are cute. That's a cute thing. That's cute. Like if I'm eating my lunch, I'm like in a meeting or I'm verifying orders. We have to be by computer. I have to be by my 2 phones.
You're shoving food in your mouth while you're doing other things.
Real. You sit down. You go to start your soup. Like, I'm actually in the pharmacy because I'm normally up in the units, right? So I'm actually sitting there, and the phone will have rung, and they'll turn around and yell, "Julie, 10 minutes out," and I just stand up and go to the ER.
And then does pit music start playing in your head?
Pretty much. I mean, it's go time. It's go time, and you just go into that mode. Like, some people run to, and some people run away.
I
And if you're
feel
a
like
run
you need to make a reel of you like running the halls of the hospital with the music
no, like
now.
you just
Definitely.
You're up and down the steps or wherever it is. So, no, that's like normal. So a lot of that is very real. There could be a Hallmark version of an ER series. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I feel like anything now just would never stand up to the pit.
The pit.
I would be so
No,
self-conscious,
that vision and knockout. I mean, he nailed it. But I think
he's so
serious. It's
sexy
like,
too.
Yeah, picking what to put on TV and what will be,
You know,
yeah,
like, oh my
as a
gosh, me
producer,
saying
I'm
that
sure
just
that,
froze Julie on
like,
my end anyway.
like how do you choose
Oh,
those
no,
things
she
and
is
know
frozen.
that that's going to be the right thing?
I said, Noah Wiley's so sexy, and she just froze. She was like, system overload.
Oh my gosh, that's never happened to her before.
Oh, wait, really? I think it's the power of Noah Wiley. I love
have
that
not seen it
this
yet.
oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you, Sarah.
I will
Like,
watch it.
I'm jealous of the fact that you get to do it again. Like, because here's what's great about it. I can fold laundry and watch The Pit, or I can sit
Okay.
there like on the edge of my seat and watch it. Like, you can go back and forth, you know? Like, I feel like most shows are either one or the other. It's either
Yeah.
something I throw on while I'm, doing a pile of dishes, or I have to concentrate and hear every word, and it's very satisfying no matter how you view it,
That's
which
good
is
to
great.
know because I'm more of a fold the laundry or cook dinner while I'm watching something kind of
Yeah.
watcher. I don't have time to
I think
sit.
that's
Yeah.
no. I mean, I might do, if I were you, I would watch it after everybody's asleep. Watch one episode so that you know how what
What's
everybody
going
looks
on.
like, and
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of throw it on and watch. But yeah, I'm
will.
that person who like takes my laptop around the house
Yeah.
with me and
Yeah.
props it up on things as I'm doing them, and I'll be like, okay, it's office time, and I'll put my computer there,
Yeah.
and put
Yeah.
something on so that it's like I'm not alone, And to me,
Yeah.
that is my downtime. Like, my downtime is watching a show while I clean or fold laundry or
Yes. Yes, actually, that was like my gift. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I told my husband, all I want is a little TV in the kitchen because I never leave this room. And I could put something on, I'll put my headphones on, and I get to watch a show.
So wait, are the headphones connected to the
Bluetooth.
TV, or are they?
So I
Where
still have
is-
to
'cause
put
I
on
feel
an
like I would-
appropriate show, but like for the
Totally,
kids,
just
but-
visually.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing is in The Pit they swear. Literally, I was watching it this morning when I was in the Peloton, and they said the F word, and my son from the kitchen goes, "I heard that," and I was like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Where are my AirPods?" But I wanted them to charge before I met with you guys, so I didn't have them. Anyway, yeah, you gotta
We're
watch
at that
it.
stage where my son will just say it, so I'm like, nope, we gotta be really careful. Yes.
He says the F word.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Wait,
she's back.
really? Oh, hi,
God.
we missed you.
Yeah, so
Some guy up in an electric pole like just went like that, and all his
Like,
buddies
don't
were
you
like,
know we're talking to Ashley Williams?
like honestly, we're talking to Ashley Williams right now, and
How could you? He's like, I thought you said to cut the blue one, and they're like, the red.
right? I'm just like, what the heck, dude? So I'm not happy. Not happy.
Figure it out. Worst case, we can just like patch the two together. Like if it uploaded completely separately, we'll.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
Yeah,
see.
it's fine. And also, I
it
feel like audiences also kind of think it's funny when things go wrong.
Oh my gosh,
This
we've
one
had a
we're
variety
like,
of things.
wow. Yeah.
You know,
not
unbuttoned. We're
all of a
unbuttoned.
sudden I'm like, fine.
All right,
Yeah.
but you're back. You made it back.
I made it back.
baby.
Hey, can we
have
talk
to-
about make her mark a little bit?
Yes, I was gonna say we have to
Oh,
talk
I
about
would
that
love
before
that.
time runs out.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Perfect.
What?
Oh, cute.
That's super cute.
So what I was going to
Um,
say about that was one of our favorite things about you is this program. We really love this program. And we've been, hoping we supported it ever since we heard of it. So we're excited
Thank
to hear
you.
about it. Yeah.
That means so much. I mean, honestly, like to any of your listeners who are hearing this, if there is a Make Her Mark project on the Hallmark channel that is airing and you guys tune in and then write feedback about how you liked that movie, that supports our program more than anything else. What we want to do is, we're launching up and coming female directors in the program. And so what we want to do is prove, it's not about our bosses, but prove to the world, that they are nailing it. And by the way, the good news is they are. The program really works because, it's not just an employment program. It doesn't just give women their first job in directing. It also educates them beforehand and supports them during their directorial debut, so that we're creating women that have a lasting career behind the camera. And that, to me, is everything. And I was just in a meeting this weekend with them, and I was like, listen, what I want for all of you, now we have, I think, like 8 or 9 women in the program. What I want for all of you is, I want to train you. I want to set you up so that you absolutely nail your first job. I want you to come back and be part of our alumni program. And then I want you to not be available for me in a couple of years because you've moved on to bigger and better things. And I'll twist your arm and force you to come back and direct me in one thing, as a revisit to your old roots or something. And then I always say, I want you to thank me in your Oscar speech. What we do at Hallmark, is so wonderfully femme. And I love the idea of having women behind the camera telling those stories. And because, by the way, the men that have been doing it are really good at it. And the good news about them is that they're really generous and kind and wonderful. And I want to pass their skill set on, to this next generation of women who are coming in. And, I would just love to get to 50-50. If half of the movies at Hallmark could be directed by women and half by men, I would be so thrilled. So,
because the statistics are not there, right? The statistics are not at that. It's what, 1 in 6 directors is a woman in the general public. I don't know what it is.
General public, I don't know. I mean, anybody who wants to can go on and look up how many films were directed in the last year by men at Hallmark and how many by women. That information is totally out there. I don't want to necessarily get in the weeds about it, and because it's
but 50-50s are a goal.
That's my goal. 50-50 is my goal. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Just half.
And yeah, and it brings a different point of view, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. And I personally, I love being on set no matter what. I have found when women are, this is a generalization, but when women are running things, I personally feel more safe and comfortable. And I love the energy that a female brings to a set. And I do think it's different. And I as a female director myself, I can see how directing has been a historically male profession. And I really appreciate the women that have come before me and broken the boundaries there. And I just want more. I want more of it.
Yeah. So will it remain a director development program, or do you see maybe other options in the future could come into it, like producing or?
Yeah, I mean, when I first approached Hallmark about the idea, I said, why stop it at directing? Female DOPs, directors of photography. I said there could potentially be a world where every job on set in crew below the line has a make her mark shadow slotted, so that every camera operator has a female shadow, or somebody working under them, that is employed and trying to work their way up. It could be something on a grander scale. And then above the line, I've been trying to figure out if maybe we could have a writing make her mark situation. It's just, writing is such a different beast. And I would definitely not be the right person to run that program because I'm a bit of a failed writer right now, but somebody like Nikki DeLoach could be somebody to, there's so many requirements of the Hallmark genre when it comes to writing, and those can be taught, so to raise, up more female writers. I think there are more female writers than female directors for Hallmark movies, but
Yeah.
I see no reason why, but I love that question because it was originally part of the pitch was let's create all new avenues for women across the board. And this one was the one that we really knew how to tackle first, with the idea of what I call a reciprocal shadow program, which is that an up and coming female director shadows a seasoned Hallmark veteran director for all of prep, shooting, and post. And then we flip the two, and he becomes her creative producer for her directorial debut and is by her side for all of prep, shooting, and post, ensuring her success. And so far it's gone really, really well. And we're going to have some big, exciting announcements, hopefully by the fall, about this next cohort, who are such dynamos. These women blow my resume completely out of the water. And I've directed 2 features, a short, and an episode of television. I'm about to go direct my second episode of television. And these women are far and away better trained than me. So I'm so excited for them, to give them a home at Hallmark. And I'm excited for them to completely take off in the coming years.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's super exciting. And we love seeing, Crystal Lowe was the first in the program, and she's had multiple movies she's directing now.
She's literally not available anymore. We can't get her. She's always busy. She's always booked.
She's great.
Yeah.
How does that impact you? Watching Crystal, for example, and how she's grown so much, and you can't even book her anymore. Has that impacted you as a director personally?
As a director, not as much, but just as a human and as her friend, I just feel like she's mine, and I made her, and I take full credit. Not asking for much, just full credit.
Full credit.
just a little bit. No, and she's amazing.
There was I had this funny thing where somebody came up to me and was like, I met this director, and you should hire her for Hallmark. And I was like, oh, what's her name? And they were like, her name's Crystal Lowe. And I was like, no, she's mine. I don't want anyone else trying to take credit for her. You don't come to me with her. I come to you with her name,
I love that. But that's got to be an amazing feeling to see her fly. Just fly.
Yeah, but also jokes aside,
she's a super girl.
She did it. I may have helped connect her, but her nailing it is purely a product of the fact that she's very well trained. She's naturally a genius director. She's, and that's where the selection process becomes so critical, is you have to find people that are going to soar. And she did. And the good news is that the next people that we're going to announce, we already have exciting news about all of them. They're already nailing it and being sought after for more work. So we're truly creating more female directors, which is amazing.
Well, we will be watching for that news. Definitely.
Thank you.
Ashley, would you play a really quick favorites game with us as we wrap up?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite movie?
I do. My favorite movie. Hold on. Princess Bride.
You and Julie. Yep.
Seriously?
As you wish. Come on.
Also, my other favorite movie, As You Wish. My other favorite is The Professional, and I also am obsessed with Shawshank Redemption.
Yes. All right. Perfect. Great answers.
Classics.
Do you have a favorite TV series of all time?
Fleabag. I watched Fleabag 30 times, both seasons, especially season 2. Season 2 of Fleabag is probably my favorite, 6 hours of television. Is it 6 hours or is it 3? Anyway, The best television I have ever seen.
Wow.
I also loved The Comeback, which is a show starring Lisa Kudrow from a while ago, and I just recently rewatched it and was again blown away by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, she's
I remember
fantastic.
that show. Okay, when you are not pitching reality series or acting or directing, do you have a favorite hobby?
I really like to nap.
Yes.
I am a hiker,
Yeah.
and I'm obsessed with dogs.
Perfect. Those are, so hiking and dog goes together real well too.
And then you take
Yeah.
a nap with the dog.
Perfect. This is a perfect balance. Perfect balance. And then do you have a favorite musician or band and a favorite song by them?
That's really hard.
Yeah, that one's hard.
I play a lot of music in our house. This morning, I played a song called Roll Away Your Stone by Mumford and Sons.
Yep.
When I was like making the eggs. And I like, tears came to my eyes and my fist was in the air. And I was like, this is an amazing song. It's just a tiny bit cheesy, but like in the best way.
Right.
So I'm going to say that that's my answer for today. But if you ask me in 3 hours, I'll have a different answer.
As you should. As you should.
Yes, I
Well,
feel like that's the way it is with music. Yeah,
Yes.
whatever hits you. Well, thank you, Ashley, for being here with us today. And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Ashley, tell everybody where to follow you on social media.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. It's Ashley Williams and Company. I'm a really bad TikToker, but it is the unabridged, unbridled Ashley Williams. For those of you, like it's that stuff is not fancy. It's just a window into who I am. So that is the same handle. It's Ashley Williams and Company on TikTok.
Okay, I have not found you on TikTok yet, so that's going to be fun, I think.
That's where we're going to find your unbuttoned content is on
Unbuttoned
TikTok.
Yes.
We're on it.
Awesome. All right, you guys, it was so fun to hang out with you. Let's do it again.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'm going to